We often navigate the physical world under the impression that we are merely biological machines, governed solely by the mechanical laws of anatomy and the tangible elements of the environment. Yet there is a silent dimension within us that pulses beyond the reach of the scalpel or the microscope. This introductory insight invites you to reconsider the essence of your existence through the lens of Spiritism as codified by Allan Kardec, suggesting that beneath our physical skin lies a vibrant network of energy that defines our health, our thoughts, and our connection to the divine universe. Perhaps you have encountered moments of profound intuition that seemed to come from elsewhere, or a sudden, unexplained chill that suggested a presence you could not see, or even a peace so deep it felt like a protective shield against the external chaos of the world. These experiences are not random glitches in the human brain, but are the direct result of our spiritual centers of force, those sacred portals that bridge the physical body with the immortal soul and the vast dimensions of the invisible world. By exploring the mechanisms of these centers, particularly the master antenna known as the pineal gland, we begin to decode the secret language of the universe and understand how our internal vibration dictates the quality of our external life. This narrative is not a simple technical lesson, but a radical plunge into your own essence, asking you to pause, breathe deeply, and prepare to perceive a reality where everything is energy and where you are the master architect of your own spiritual atmosphere. 1. The radiant architecture of the perispirit and the fluidic body. In the profound teachings established in the Spirit's book, Allan Kardec elucidates that between the pure spirit and the material body exists an intermediary envelope known as the perispirit, which serves as the fundamental mold for our physical incarnation. This perispirit is not composed of ordinary matter, but of semi-material fluids that draw from the universal cosmic fluid, acting as a sophisticated electrical circuit that carries information from the soul to the brain and vice versa. Within this fluidic structure are the centers of force, which function like miniature suns or energetic transformers, capturing the vital force of the universe and distributing it through the nervous and endocrine systems to maintain biological life. Imagine a web of light that irrigates your subtle body, concentrating energy at strategic points to create a direct bridge between the flesh you touch and the identity that will return to the Creator after the body ceases to function. These points of concentration ensure that the perispirit acts as a perfect record of our moral progress, storing our experiences and influencing the way our cells regenerate and behave based on the quality of the thoughts we project. Understanding this radiant architecture is essential because it reminds us that we are not confined to our physical boundaries, but are expansive beings whose energy fields interact constantly with the surrounding world and the higher planes of existence. 2. The universal cosmic fluid as the source of all vitality. The universe is not an empty void, but is saturated with a primary element that Kardec identified as the universal cosmic fluid, the fundamental raw material from which all things originate and into which all things will eventually dissolve. This fluid exists in varying states of density, ranging from the solid matter we step upon to the ethereal fluids that move through the dimensions of thought, and it is through our centers of force that we draw upon this infinite reservoir to fuel our own existence. Like an ocean in which we are immersed, this fluid responds to the magnetism of our will and the frequency of our emotions, becoming the substance that nourishes our perispirit and maintains the coherence of our physical health. When we understand that every thought acts as a magnet, pulling specific qualities of this fluid toward us, we realize the gravity of our internal state. High-quality thoughts attract luminous, healing fluids, while darkened intentions pull in dense, oppressive energies. The centers of force work as incansable operators, processing this cosmic raw material and transforming it into the specific vital energy that makes our hearts beat and our minds process complex ideas. This realization places the responsibility of health firmly within our grasp as we learn to harmonize our energetic absorption by aligning our will with the natural laws of goodness and light that govern the universe. 3. The pineal gland as the master antenna of spiritual connection. At the very center of the human brain, tucked away like a precious gem, lies the pineal gland, a structure that Spiritism through the advanced descriptions of André Louis, identifies as the most important center of force for the evolving soul. While modern science focuses on its production of melatonin and the regulation of sleep, the spiritual perspective reveals it to be a sophisticated antenna capable of receiving and transmitting vibrations from the spirit world. It is the master regulator of our mediumistic sensitivity, translating the subtle waves of thought from disincarnate entities and higher guides into chemical and electrical signals that the human consciousness can perceive as inspiration, dreams, or premonitions. When we engage in sincere prayer or deep meditation, the pineal gland vibrates with an intense luminosity, expanding our perispirit's reach and allowing us to touch the edges of the divine planes. If our internal life is characterized by peace and a search for truth, this gland remains clear and highly functional. But if we allow our minds to be clouded by anger, selfishness, or material obsession, the gland becomes encrusted with dense fluids that act like static on a radio, blocking the signals of the higher self. Caring for this master antenna involves cultivating a mental environment of tranquility and moral aspiration, ensuring that our connection to the source of all wisdom remains unobstructed and clear throughout our daily lives. 4. The cardiac center and the alchemy of universal love. The heart is often relegated to the status of a mechanical pump, but in the realm of the soul, it is the cardiac center of force that acts as the powerhouse of our emotional life and the regulator of our human connections. This center processes the energies of affection, empathy, and altruism, converting raw cosmic fluid into the specialized energy of love that warms the chest and provides a sense of profound well-being. According to Kardec's observations on the influence of the spirit over the body, when we participate in acts of genuine charity or express sincere forgiveness, this center glows with a radiant light that strengthens our entire immune system and harmonizes all other centers of force. Conversely, holding on to grievances or living in a state of constant resentment creates a literal blockage in this energetic flow, leading to a feeling of heaviness and, eventually, manifest physical ailments in the heart and lungs. The cardiac center is the mirror of our character. It cannot be fooled by superficial kindness, as it responds only to the authentic vibration of the soul's intent. To master this center is to master the alchemy of life itself, learning to transmute the heavy lead of suffering and anger into the gold of unconditional love and inner peace, which then radiates outward to heal and inspire everyone within our energetic field. 5. The gastric center and the translation of environmental impact. Located in the solar plexus region, the gastric center is an incredibly sensitive receiver that manages our vitality and responds directly to the emotional climate of our environment. It is the center of our instincts and the primary processor of the energies we encounter in our social interactions, often acting as the first point of impact for negative or aggressive vibrations from others. You may have noticed a knot in your stomach before a difficult meeting or a sudden sensation of weakness after an argument. These are the physical echoes of the gastric center, struggling to process a sudden influx of dense, discordant energy. When we live in a state of fear or anxiety, this center remains in a state of contraction, preventing the proper distribution of vital force and leading to chronic fatigue or digestive instability. Maintaining the health of this center requires a conscious practice of emotional shielding, where we use our will to maintain a calm interior despite the storms of the world around us. By feeding our minds with thoughts of security and trust in the divine laws, we allow the gastric center to operate with fluidity, ensuring that we have the necessary strength to face our daily trials without depleting our fundamental life force. 6. The laryngeal center and the manifestation of the word. Our voice is the physical vehicle of our spirit's intent, and the laryngeal center of force is the energetic valve that controls the power and clarity of our self-expression. It is the center responsible for articulating our thoughts into the material world, turning the abstract vibrations of our consciousness into audible sound and decisive action. When this center is in harmony, we speak with authenticity and authority, and our words carry a magnetic quality that can soothe hearts or motivate change. However, when we hide our truth out of fear, use our voice to spread gossip, or suppress our emotions to please others, the laryngeal center becomes constricted, leading to physical symptoms like tension in the throat or chronic hoarseness. Spiritism teaches that the word is a creative force. Every sentence we utter is a projection of energy that shapes our reality and impacts the fluidic atmosphere of those around us. By using our speech to uplift, educate, and speak the truth with kindness, we keep this center open and vibrant, allowing our soul's unique song to resonate clearly through our lives and contribute to the harmony of the whole. 7. The splenic center and the filtration of vital magnetism. The splenic center, located near the spleen, acts as a primary laboratory for the vitalization of the physical organism, serving as the gatekeeper for the absorption of magnetism from the sun and the atmosphere. It filters the coarse cosmic fluids and transforms them into the specific vital current that keeps our blood rich and our tissues resilient, working in close cooperation with the nervous system to maintain the body's defensive barriers. In the teachings of Allan Kardec, regarding the healing power of magnetism, this center is recognized as the entry point for the healing energies provided by mentors during a spiritual pass or a therapeutic touch session. If we find ourselves constantly drained or unable to recover from illness, it is often a sign that our splenic center is struggling to absorb enough vital magnetism, perhaps due to a sedentary lifestyle or a lack of exposure to the natural elements. Taking care of this center involves spending time in nature, breathing deeply under the morning sun, and maintaining a positive attitude that invites the flow of life rather than rejecting it. It is through this subtle filtration process that our bodies remain anchored in physical vitality, allowing the spirit to fulfill its mission on earth with endurance and strength. 8. The Genesic Center and the creative force of renewal. The Genesic Center, found in the pelvic region, is the seat of the creative and reproductive forces of the human being, managing the energies that allow for the continuation of the species and the perpetual renewal of cellular life. Beyond its biological role, this center is the repository of a potent energy that, when properly directed, can fuel artistic creation, intellectual breakthroughs, and profound spiritual shifts. Spiritism does not view this energy as something to be repressed, but as a sacred force that must be disciplined and refined through moral education and self-control. When we use our creative drive solely for selfish gratification or base instincts, we deplete this reservoir and lose the fuel needed for higher mental evolution. However, by channeling this vital power toward higher goals, such as work, study, and the creation of beauty, we transform the genesic energy into a luminous force that invigorates the brain and heightens our spiritual perception. This center reminds us that we are creators at every level, and that the energy of life itself is meant to be cultivated with reverence, ensuring that we produce not just new life, but a new, more evolved version of ourselves. 9. The coronary center and the government of the soul. Situated at the top of the head, the coronary center is considered the government of the soul, the highest point of energy that oversees and harmonizes all other centers of force within the perispirit. It is the direct link to the higher self and the repository of the spirit's will, serving as the throne where the conscious identity sits and directs the complex symphony of human existence. When we achieve states of high moral aspiration or intellectual clarity, the coronary center radiates a brilliant white light that creates a protective aura around the entire being, deflecting lower vibrations and attracting superior influences. Allan Kardec noted that the evolution of the spirit is visibly marked by the activity of this center. In more advanced souls, it is a magnificent sun that illuminates the path for others, while in those still focused on material greed, it remains dormant and dim. Developing this center is the ultimate goal of the human journey, as it requires a total integration of knowledge and love, leading to a state where the spirit no longer struggles with its base nature, but lives in a constant state of communion with the divine purpose. 10. The path to harmonization and the practice of inner silence. To maintain these centers of force in perfect alignment, we must adopt a lifestyle that prioritizes the health of the spirit as much as the health of the body, beginning with the daily practice of inner silence and prayer. Spiritism offers us practical tools such as the spiritual pass, which is a transfer of energy from a medium to a receiver to cleanse the perispirit. But the most lasting harmony comes from our own internal work. By dedicating time each day to quiet the noisy demands of the ego and listen to the whispers of the soul, we give the pineal gland the chance to calibrate itself to higher frequencies, avoid the toxins of anger and envy, which act like sludge in the energetic channels, and instead choose to be an active source of peace and service to others. Every small act of patience, every moment of gratitude, and every sincere prayer acts as a tuning fork for your entire being, raising your vibration until you are no longer a victim of circumstance, but a radiant participant in the evolution of the universe. Your history is unique and your spirit is eternal. By mastering your energy centers, you don't just change your life, you change your destiny. As we conclude this exploration of the invisible architecture that defines us, we realize that we are far more than our physical forms. We are eternal spirits woven into a vast cosmic tapestry of energy and light. The teachings of Allan Kardec and the revelations of the spirit world urge us to recognize that we carry within us the tools for our own healing and the maps for our own liberation. The pineal gland is waiting for your attention, the heart is waiting for your love, and the coronary center is waiting for your will to ascend. Do not be discouraged by the challenges of the world, for your true power lies in the internal harmony you cultivate, despite the external noise. Take a moment tonight to offer a simple prayer of thanks, to release a grudge that weighs on your chest, or to sit in the stillness of your own room and invite the light to fill your being. The evolution of the soul is a gradual but certain process, and with every step you take toward the light, the universe moves in harmony with you. May you find the strength to shine, the peace to persevere, and the love to transform your reality into a reflection of the divine brilliance that resides within your very core.